I know people hate Trump. I stipulate it all the time. I have people in my life who hate him. And I know it and I get it. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I can't tell you to like chocolate ice cream if you don't like chocolate ice cream. If you like vanilla, you like vanilla. I'm not going to change your mind. I'm only going to try to persuade you that this country would be infinitely better off with the policies and the practices of the 4 years that we already experienced under Donald Trump, notably a secure border. Biden and the Democrats do not want a secure border. So we have a big week ahead of us. We got major rulings coming from the Supreme Court. Trump has announced that he has picked his running mate. Now, the speculation is running rampant. I hear it's Doug Burgum, but I could be wrong. I will tell you that I don't often invoke sources. I'm not one of those guys. I don't pretend to be a journalist. I don't think I'm a journalist. I've never claimed to be a journalist, so I don't follow journalistic rules. I do my best to come in here and be fair. I'm emotional. I'm opinionated. I'm a big mouth with a show. And that's my life. I don't think I don't have 9 college degrees I don't have a journalism degree. I don't think I'm a journalist. I think it's Sean Hannity who believes he's an opinion journalist. I guess you could argue, well, opinion people are journalists too. If you write op-eds in the Wall Street Journal, you're a journalist. I don't know. I don't think I'm a journalist. So I don't sit around and talk about my sources and my connections. But I know people. I know people in the Trump administration. I know Trump on the campaign trail. In the Trump campaign, I know that. I know, and my sources are suggesting Doug Burgum. I don't know what you think of him. I don't really know what to make of it. I don't know that I don't know that it matters. Maybe it does. I don't see anybody on the supposed list that bothers me except Nikki Haley. Everybody else is fine. So in the meantime, we got Trump getting ready for the debate and Biden getting ready for the debate. We've got big Supreme Court decisions coming out. We've got a country that's sort of holding its collective breath. The Supreme Court decisions, incidentally, the big ones have to do with presidential immunity and obstruction. Those are the two biggies that impact Trump world. Will it have a red wave impact like overturning Roe v. Wade did? I don't think so. Not at all. I mean, the question about immunity comes down to whether or not presidents are immune from criminal prosecution or not. Now, it's a little more nuanced than that, but that's the layman's way to put it, to characterize it. And of course they should. Because if the Supreme Court rules against Donald Trump on the issue of presidential immunity, then Republicans better start filing lawsuits against Joe Biden, going after Biden. Start prosecuting him. Because he could be prosecuted for a lot of stuff. Did you hear about the election official in Arizona who got booed off the stage when he said he believed the election of 2020 was fair? This is a very interesting story because the mainstream media was mocking the crowd for booing him. The mainstream media and even establishment Republicans do not appreciate or understand or even get how suspicious people are of election shenanigans. They don't get it. In South Carolina, they had a primary where 13% of the potential voters showed up to vote. That's appalling. That's scary. Only 13% showed up in South Carolina. And I know that number because I was there. How could people not show up to vote? And if we have that kind of lackluster turnout on November 5th, we're going to lose. Do you understand that? But the reason there were only 13% there was only a 13% turnout in South Carolina, and I know South Carolina pretty well, it's because people don't trust the election. People don't trust the ballot counters. People don't trust the process. And I kind of think it's my job to point out that we have got procedures in place that are far different from 2020. Don't take my word for it. Here's the RNC co-chair, Laura Trump, who can absolutely break down for you how we have incredible election integrity programs in place. But this is a story that isn't going away. I want to try to tackle it with you. 1-800-655-MIKE. How do we convince people to vote? It's real simple. I'm going to start this Monday, June 24th in the Relief Factor Studios with a simple question. How do we convince people to vote? I don't want to wallow in misery, and I don't want to sit around and wallow in why things are not going the way they should be going and how you don't trust the election. How do we convince people to show up on November 5th or before with early voting? Simple question. Let's see if you have an easy answer.